you do me a favor here? Can you give it up for applause?
Yeah!
All right. Applause is cool, man. I love applause. Oh, man. Here we are again. The most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah.
Happy Kwanzaa, everybody. Sister back there talking about Kwanzaa. Is that African for Christmas? No, Kwanzaa is not African for Christmas. Kwanzaa is actually Swahili. It means first, which is ironic since it is the last holiday of the year. But Kwanzaa is comprised of 7 principles over the course of 7 days. And it's Umoja, Kujuchakalia, Ujima, Ujama, Nia, Kaumba. Sister back in there talking about, those my baby's names. Kaumba locked up. Imani got shot last night. She was just sitting at home trying to watch Empire. Oh, but the 7 principles, they all mean very positive things. You know, there's creativity, and collective responsibility, and faith. And when you translate the 7 principles into Swahili, it means Nguzo Saba. Look, she back there again talking about, Nguzo Saba, that's their daddy's name. I love Nguzo. Don't you say nothing bad about Nguzo. Anyway, I said all that to say this. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Oh, Jesus is the reason for the season. Jesus is the reason for... We love a good rhyme, don't we, black folks? Jesus is the reason for the season. If it don't fit, you must acquit. If she can't use your comb, then don't bring her home. Now, that last one's a little racist. But man, we love a good rhyme. I think that's the reason why I didn't see a lot of y'all out there at the Black Lives Matter protest. Because Black Lives Matter, it doesn't rhyme. Yep. Now, if it was Black Lives Thrive or Black Lives Will Survive, then of course you'd be out there with a picket sign talking about, rest in peace, Imani. She was shot last night. She was just sitting at home trying to watch Empire. Oh, man. Jesus is the reason for the season. Huh, y'all look good tonight. Give yourselves a round of applause. Good. Instead of being looking sharp, talking about Jesus is the reason for the season. Knowing that on Black Friday, you up in Best Buy elbowing little kids for an Xbox. Now you're up here looking good talking about Jesus is the reason for the season. Oh, man, you know who messed Christmas up for me, man? My dad. He played too much. I was 6 years old, right? Still young, still innocent, still believed in Santa Claus. And the week before Christmas, I couldn't sleep at night, tossing and turning. And finally, Christmas Eve night comes, and so I tried to go to bed. I'm up all night. So 6 o'clock in the morning rolls around. My dad walks into my room. He's like, son, Santa Claus ain't make it this year. I jump out of bed, I run downstairs, and I'm like, I see there was nothing under the tree. So I run back upstairs, I wake Mama up. I'm like, Mama, Santa Claus ain't make it this year. Is Santa Claus racist? I want to call my white friends. I bet they got toys. I don't like Christmas no more. I want to be an atheist. Now the whole time I'm crying. My dad is downstairs putting all the gifts back under the tree. He's talking about, Jay, come back downstairs. So I run downstairs and I see all the gifts. I lose my mind again. I'm like, I'm sorry, Santa Claus. I didn't mean to call you a racist. Please forgive me, Santa Claus. Santa loves a little children. Having a nervous breakdown at 6. Ooh. Family is funny, though. Family is funny. My wife says, "Hey, please give it up for my wife." She is an amazing woman. If you see her later on, just go by and shake her hand and thank her for marrying me.
You're welcome.
I knew early on that we were going to work out because my wife, she comes from a family full of doctors, and I come from a family full of patients. So I knew it was a match made in heaven. Now, she and I had a conversation a few weeks ago about inheritance. You know, when a family member passes and they say, you get money, you get land, and you get a house. And I'm like, man, that's a great idea because in my family, when somebody passes, it's like, you get diabetes, you get high blood pressure, you get debt. And man, in her family, they got wills. In my family, we got wants. You won't get money, you won't get land, and you won't get the house. And you won't get to retire, ever. You will work until the day you die. Well, I'm afraid that the only thing I'm going to inherit are my parents' 2 dogs. Now, I love those dogs, but I don't want them dogs. They got the nerve to name them dogs Timmy and Daisy. Timmy and Daisy. Now, what black folks you know got dogs named Timmy and Daisy? Can I get a dog named Tupac? Can I get a pup named Raekwon? Timmy and Daisy. And I love these dogs, but these dogs are old. They messed up by this point. These dogs have been through Jim Crow, the turbulent 60s, Reaganomics, the crack epidemic, 9/11. Poor Daisy, she's this plump hound who only has one functioning leg, so when she moves, she looks like she's breakdancing. It's like, she's kind of moving like this. And then poor little Timmy, he's this little terrier, right? Little thug dog, running around with an eye patch and a smoker's coat. A couple years back, Timmy had a tracheotomy, so he has this little microphone, so when he barks, it's like, bow wow, bow wow. I love y'all Second National. But before I go, I have a bone to pick with you Second National. With you. It's 2015, going into 2016. I think it's about time we stop lying to our kids. Now, every year, kids come to the association, youth night, they sing and they dance. Nowadays they dance. And we're blessed. For the most part, our kids are talented kids. They can sing, they can dance. But there are a few kids who we can maybe encourage to explore other avenues. I'm saying this because when I was a kid, I knew singing was not in the cards for me, man. I knew I was not a singer. But every year we would show up to the association, and sometime during the week, we would run into the youth president at that time, Arthur Green. And he would be like, Johnson boys, I see you Saturday night, right? And my brother would look at me, he'd be like, I guess we gotta go. So we would show up on Saturday, and we would sing with the kids, and we were miserable. So one year I decided, okay, I'm gonna bring my saxophone. That way I don't have to sing. So we show up on Saturday at the 6 o'clock lineup. I got my saxophone, my brother's with me, and we lined up at 6 o'clock, right? And we behind the Scott White family. Now I don't know if you remember the Scott White kids back in the 90s, but they would roll down from Pennsylvania in one car and be like 1,000 of them in one car. And they would line up in the Best Western, Lee Jackson, Winchester, Virginia, and their line would go all the way out the door, all the way up back through the Apple Blossom Mall. So we lined up behind them, waiting to march in. And so the music starts, and, we start to rock a little bit, and we begin to march in. And Jimmy Porter's up at the choir stand talking about, come on, Saints, brother, sing y'all, like little Kirk Franklin. So we march in. About 2 hours later, we finally sit down. So they start calling up all the youth groups one by one, and all the youth groups go up and they sing a song or two, and then they sit down. So finally they call me up. Like, we're gonna have a selection from Brother Johnson from Shiloh. I go up with my saxophone, I'm all nervous. I stand in front of the microphone, and I say, I will attempt to play for you this evening a selection. I was a little pretentious. I will attempt to play for you this evening a selection. Just a closer walk with thee. And that's how it sounded for the entire song. Sounded like a dying mule. But then, y'all was out there, line congregation out there talking about, you play that song, Jay, you sound good, man. Sound good. So, and then there was this deacon on the side who didn't know the words to the song, but he's trying to sing along with me. He's over there like, just talk to me. So years go by, and American Idol comes to television. And I used to watch American Idol all the time, right? And you see these kids come up before Randy and Simon and Paul, and they would mess these songs up. And Simon would try to tell them that song was rubbish. And them kids would argue with Simon. They'd be like, no, Simon, I can sing. I know I can sing. I've been singing in church all my life. And I was like, oh no, their congregation lies too. And I saw myself standing in front of Simon, Paul, and Randy with my saxophone talking about, I will attempt to play for you this evening a selection entitled, Santa Loves the Little Children. And Simon would be like, that song was rubbish. And I'm like, no, Simon, you're rubbish. You don't understand, man. I got a lot on my mind these days. Kahumba locked up. Imani got shot last night. She was just sitting there home, trying to watch Empire. Anyway, thank you all so much. Have a good night. Merry Christmas.